Speaking of big hits, and at a little one-on-one time with my nanny, Olga, today, talking about, the good old days back in the village.
I didn't see it going that way.
Yeah.
Speaking of big hits.
And she said she gave my daughter spanking yesterday. And I thought, this is a very rich Carolla tradition, which is, I was never spanked by my own parents, but I was hit by other people's parents. Which is, sort of Spinal Tappy-esque in terms of like choking on someone else's vomit. It's not the kind of thing. Most people can't say that they were hit by other people's parents more than their own. So we've already started. I've never spanked either one of my kids, but I've already had the nanny do my bidding, or
Wait,
at least do her bidding.
Her to do this?
I should have.
Direct orders?
I wish I'd done it. No, I said first thing I said was, "What'd she do?" And then she said, she spit in my face.
Oh,
and
wow.
I said, oh, good. Then have at it, And she said,
spank her again.
Yeah. And
She spit in her face?
Well, she did. She's
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's bad. That's why she gets a
Now, was it a
spanking
loogie
part.
or just regular spank?
It's not
Yeah.
like
Good question.
she put down her cigarette and did a. No.
Oh, no.
No, yes,
I
right.
think it's also worse in Latin cultures, like to them, because remember when Roberto Alomar did that to the
It's a
to the umpire?
compliment to me.
But remember that was like a big thing. Like he didn't hit the umpire, he spit on him, but that was like a big deal.
There's two big things in Latin culture. It is there's spitting and dogs, and that's the same with the Middle East. He lays down with dogs. It's like my dog sleeps on my bed every night. Yes, with dogs. Yeah,
You sleep with dogs.
Sleeps on my feet every night. Sleeps in between me and my wife with dogs. It's like they don't realize the dogs and the spitting not quite as bad for us, but. No, not a hawk and a whatever. She was like trying to get her attention. She started like kind of going or something like on her back, and I don't know if she spit right in her face or whatever it is, but she deserved whatever she got. I was happy.
Where'd she spank her? This whole story is so disturbing.
In the house. What do you think? She went to Spankatorium? It's a crazy question. No, she on the behind.
Took her up to the city walk to show off.
She spanked her on the behind, and I was like, yeah, good. And my wife was like, yeah, good. And I don't, the people that get nutty about that kind of stuff, like I was like, she was way out of line, and that's fine. And Dr. Drew does not approve of this kind of stuff. On the other hand,
he does his own spanking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He does a rail off their back, and then the spanking begins. Then the Bruno Mali comes out, and the real damage begins. So, he's out of control.
Learn those lessons from Bing Crosby.
She stopped it. I mean, she had a different attitude. I mean, she didn't stop spinning. What I'm saying is her attitude was completely different the next day with Olga and all that. And I'm like, good. That's nice. That's the way it should work. So I'm fine with it. I just thought it's an interesting tradition to pass along, where the first hands laid upon you were not of the ones of your parents.
Quite a legacy.
Being fair to me, mine weren't outsourced. I was just in the back of a Volvo station wagon when someone named Roberta smacked me, and then Grandpa Al Lewis.
But now you can take your kids aside when they get a little older and say, the time's going to come when you have your own children, and you too can hire someone to beat them for you.
That's right. Or I'll just keep it as a looming threat. As I've said, you get out of line, I'll hire a drifter to kill you. And I will not hire Guatemalan to spank you.
My dad used to say, this was 20 years ago, I don't know how he knew this price. $500. I can hire a Korean hitman and take you out.
Wow, Korean. Yeah. I like that. It's
very
specific.
I don't know where that came from.
Well, when you're specific, as I learned in the Groundlings, it's a better story. I'll hire some guy. Yeah. Doesn't sound quite as good as Korean means he's been shopping.
Well, and we lived in Hancock Park, so maybe he had been down to Koreatown.
Sure.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Is Natalia mad at Olga, do you think?
No.
She's just on good behavior now?
She's definitely, she's in non-spitting mode with Olga now, as they call her, which is fine. And look, I'm not into the beating up on the kids, but kid spits on somebody, kid gets swatted. I'm fine with that world.